Here.
Councilwoman Clayton.
Here.
Councilmember Kendall. Councilwoman Quinn.
Here.
Councilman Werner.
Here.
Right now, if everybody could please rise for a silent prayer, a moment of reflection. Flag salute. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As to comply with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in the following manner. The organization meeting notice was forwarded to the Asbury Park Press, the Coast, and the Star Ledger on December 23, 2015, and posted on the bulletin board the same date. All notices are on file with the city clerk. We'll now move on to the consent agenda resolutions. All matters listed in the consent agenda are presented collectively to the City Council and will be considered for approval with one vote. These matters are considered to be routine in nature, and there will be no individual discussion of these items. If discussion is desired by one or more council person, the item shall be removed from the consent agenda. Is there any items, or the items are, pardon me, as follows. There's 31 of them, so sit tight. 2016-01, appointment of deputy mayor. 2016-02, appointment of deputy city clerk. 2016-03, appointment of municipal attorney. 2016-04, appointment of municipal auditor. 2016-05, appointment of special tax counsel. 2016-06, appointment of bond counsel. 2016-07, appointment of city engineer. 2016-08, appointment of appraisal services. 2016-09, appointment of labor council. 2016-10, appointment of insurance broker. 2016-11, designation of public agency compliance officer. 2016-12, appointment of ADA compliance officer and coordinator. 2016-13, appointment of fund commissioner and alternate to the NJIIF. 2016-14, establishing council meeting schedules for 2016. 2016-15, designated official newspaper. 2016-16, designating official depositories. 2016-17, adopting cash management plan. 2016-18, establishing rate of interest to be charged on delinquent taxes. 2016-19, adopting a temporary operating budget. 2016-20, authorizing the city clerk to execute all bingo and raffle games and chance applications that meet all provisions pursuant to the state statutes for the for 2016. 2016-21, resolution authorizing the tax assessor to act as an agent for the city of Asbury Park for the purpose of filing and settling tax appeals on behalf of the taxing district for the tax year 2016. 2016-22, appointments to the Asbury Park Planning Board. 2016-23, appointments to the Asbury Park Zoning Board of Adjustments. 2016-24, appointments to the APTV Committee. 2016-25, appointments to the Code Enforcement / Quality of Life Committee. 2016-26, appointments to the Public Arts Committee. 2016-27, appointments to the Parking Advisory Committee. 2016-28, appointments to the Recreation Advisory Committee. 2016-29, appointments to the Community Development Block Grant Committee. 2016-30, authorizing the appointments of Wesley Lake Commission. 2016-31, appointments to the Springwood Avenue Renaming Committee. Is there any resolutions anybody wants to pull off the consent agenda? Can I have a motion to accept all the resolutions from 2016-01 through 2016-31, please?
Move it. Second.
Question. 21630. I don't see a amended one, a revised one.
I don't have a revised one. Do you just want to table it and then we'll just verify the numbers? It's the revision of it.
Your appointment. want to do.
You want the resolution?
If you want to hold off to Wednesday, I don't know when the next meeting is.
Monday. Wednesday.
Monday?
Yeah, that's what I was advising, yes. Correct.
Correct.
That's what I
Okay,
said.
That's what I was told.
that should be the revised one.
Okay.
So you want to revise as amended?
Yes.
All right, any other comments or questions? Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
At this time, we're on to item F, announcements by Mayor Moore of mayor's appointment to the Library Board Committee.
Carrie Martin? Karen? But nobody knew who Karen was, so.
Announcement by Mayor Moore for the mayor's appointment to the position of Office of Emergency Management, OEM Director.
Garrett M. Giberson?
Announcement by Mayor Moore for the mayor's appointments to the Planning Board, Class 1,
Joe Warner?
Class 2.
Garrett M. Giberson?
All right, now we're up to comments by council members. Anybody have comment? Quiet bunch tonight. Comments by the mayor.
Oh, well, I'll make one quick comment about APTV. Tonight, we're using these PTZ cameras, the two up here. It's our first night using them, which is why we have a volunteer thank you in the back. So when this shows up on the website or on your TV, it's going to look a little different, hopefully better. Obviously, we're interested in feedback, and we want to, personally want to thank Hera for taking the reins on this and getting these working in 2016.
Okay.
That's it.
No one else? Go ahead.
We're now up to public participation. Can I have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
Move it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The public is expected to conduct themselves in a proper manner. Enter derogatory, abusive, or threatening statements will not be permitted. The chair will immediately rule such conduct out of order and after appropriate warning may terminate any further comments from the speaker. Each speaker has 3 minutes to speak, and when you come up to the mic, please state your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. Tom Gilmore, 1308 Fifth Avenue. As some of you may remember, back in October, the Asbury Park Music Foundation submitted an application to the Special Events Committee to hold a free concert series in the new Springwood Park. And I am pleased to say that today we found out that we did receive the $25,000 grant. So we're very excited. And that'll be a weekly concert, free to the public, and will include local musicians and hired professional musicians.
Great job.
Going to be a great thing.
Tom, thank you very much. And I saw it earlier, and somebody thanked me. I said, I didn't do anything. All I did was vote. So thank you for all the hard work.
Good evening, Council. Pam Lamberton. Happy New Year. About 6 months ago, I asked you about a mission statement, and Yvonne and Joe both came to me and said you had in fact written one, but you have not made it public. I was wondering if you were going to, or if you're writing a new one for 2016, and if you would share it with us.
Okay. It's not ready tonight, unless Yvonne and Joe wanted to announce it.
No, I think we want to fine tune it.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, this is Maureen Nevin, Deal Lake Drive, Deal Lake Court. I just wanted to thank the city clerk and Michael, the city manager, and Ricky Gartz for working out the confusion over the open debts for the landmark buildings, because the city manager thought that they may have been mistaken for a sewer bond that was actually all for improvements on the sewer. But there were actually two refunding sewer bonds for 2014. And we just cleared that up about 2 hours ago. And I appreciate that. So, so they are open, and we are paying on them. The other thing I wanted to talk about is that in the coming months that we get our accounting in better order. I hope that the city manager will explain to us what he's going to do about clarifying the accounting. Because in the audit, the independent audit, they mentioned this. And also, people should realize that the bond debt is very important, because if we can't make the bond payments, the city is obligated to actually raise it from taxes. And there's no minimum, there's no limit on what they can charge the public. So it's very personal. And our debt is now, the full debt is $73,473,527. Thank you.
Thank you, and I would ask, since you and Mr. Gartz and the city managers just wrapped this up 2 hours ago and we haven't had time to talk, that I'm sure Michael will give the council an update. And as far as Maureen's numbers of $73 million, confirm that. And also, I agree with her and make the accounting process easier, because I have troubles with her accounting process. Thank you.
Hi, Sarisa Grillo, 301 8th Avenue, Asbury Park, New Jersey. Also 521 Cookman Avenue, Asbury Park, New Jersey. Congratulations, Joe Werner, on your recent appointment to the Planning Board. I wish you much luck in pouring through the plans, reviews, and other associated documents with each application that comes before you and the rest of the board. Always remember that there was once a smart young woman who was and will likely still be interested in representing the best interests of the residents, the city, and its business owners. The relationships I've made with board members, planning, engineering, and law professionals, municipal employees, and neighbors who rent and neighbors who own will never be duplicated. I am shocked that the rest of the council would entertain, without consulting others, the possibility of not reappointing me, an educated, steadfast, and dedicated volunteer to the community, for the purpose of not upsetting or disturbing the minority presence on the board. It seems that this was all because of a councilman who is already in an elected position of leadership, has the ability to govern from his chair, and can already legislate with others. He wants to be on the board. Fellow residents and business owners, micromanaging the makeup of these boards by infusing more than enough council members on them is not leadership that Asbury Park needs. In a conversation with Councilwoman Quinn, she told me the council did not have a problem with the way I served or how I voted, that this was a matter of Joe wanting to be on the planning board. She also stated that she desperately wants to fill more positions with African American women. This is great, but what has the council done to recruit volunteers to fit that demographic that they desire? What about having more women serve on the boards? Why don't we just start there? When it comes down to planning, geography matters. I'm the only member of the planning board who has lived in the Central Business District, is raising a child in the Central Business District, and converses with residents and business owners on a daily and sometimes hourly basis. The thing is, the creation of a master plan is coming up. The planning board and its planners will be charged with creating a comprehensive plan for the entire city. It will be the primary guide that we use for the land, but it will also set the tone for each of the districts and the zones. Much of the frustration I hear from you, the residents and business owners, has a great deal to do with this plan. As it stands, our current plan is very development heavy and offers more incentives to developers than it does to residents, especially in mixed use areas. Because of the development heavy attributes, there are some areas of the city that have not been as appealing to private developers. This needs to change. We must create a sustainable community across the board, and this is what I would love to have a voice in. I would love for you to reconsider my appointment to the planning board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tracy Rogers, Monroe Avenue. I wanted to know, with the transit station, have we thought any more or talked to vendors about coming in? And also, it's cold now, and people are going to be waiting for trains, and are we extending the hours? And with the new cameras going up, are those cameras going to be fed into the same system, which would actually give us more eyes on the transit station to leave it open and having an hour ride-by through the cops to actually monitor it to keep it open a little bit later for people going in and out on the trains?
That's it?
Yeah.
But Tracy, let me just say, I don't think we're prepared to give you some of those answers tonight, so instead of just giving you half, we'll address them next week at the council meeting and give you all the answers you look at, because this is the reorg meeting. Thank you. We follow through on that? Thank you.
Hi, Joe Grillo, 521 Cookman Avenue. I wanted to echo the sentiments of Sarisa. You know that I've tried to contact, and I've spoken to almost all of you on the board on how much, how important it is to have these diverse voices on the planning board that are not just, it's not just the gender or the racial diversity, which is super important, but also the geographic diversity, like what Sarisa was saying. Joe, I know that you know, I have nothing but positive things to say about you. I know that you have the best of intentions. I was just wondering, and I know that these questions have to be directed to the mayor, but why does it mean so much to you to be on the planning board when you have someone that is ready, willing, and able to be an ally, to advocate for the policy goals that the council is looking to do? They've already agreed, whether it's Bradley Cove, whether it's other issues that may or may not come up before the planning board. Why is it such an important thing for this appointment to go through? Like, what is the thing that makes it so important, that's so necessary, that you have to kick off somebody who, this is the only thing that she wants to do? It's a volunteer position. It's not like she's getting paid. This has, you know, this is something where she is studying this, she digests this every day, she has, you know, she knows the master plan back and forth, and that's my only question. Does it mean as much to you to be on the planning board as it does to someone like Sarisa, who's a dedicated public servant that is on the ground, shoulder to the wheel every day, speaking to every single business owner? And not just the ones here, but also the ones on TV and the ones that are going to be watching this. So I'm asking you why it means so much to you to be on it, and why she needs to be kicked off of it because of that, and why you can't just not accept the appointment, which you could still do, and then Mayor Moore will be able to appoint Sarisa as the mayor's designee. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I'll answer that. So I've been wanting to go on the planning board for a while, for all the reasons that you and Sarisa talked about, because it's such an important board, because I care deeply about the city, because I care deeply about all parts of the city. So I thought that in 2013, I was going to be appointed. I wasn't. When we came in last year, we didn't think there was like a bunch of change that we should be making right off the bat. We know we were voted to bring change, but we didn't think right at that time it was the time to do it. And let me be clear, I asked the mayor to appoint me, so he's doing me a favor. And it's because of the things you said. I care deeply about the city, and I think the planning board is something that I've been interested in for a while, and you've echoed all the reasons tonight that it's such a sought after position. It's something that I'm not going to school to study planning, but planning is important to me. I think anybody who has been around me knows that planning is important and how we think about our city long term, and I hope I can bring that.
Can I ask a follow-up?
No,
Okay.
just because you're over the time. Joe.
I hear you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Motion to close the public portion.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor? Motion to adjourn.
I'm going to just say one thing. I want to obviously thank Sarisa for her years on the planning board. There are set numbers of spots that are up every year. On the planning board, there was a very limited number of spots that were open this year. It's not like all 9 spots are up. This was a year that very limited spots were open. I absolutely foresee a role for Sarisa doing other things that I think she would be interested in the city of Asbury Park, and that have to do with planning and you know, what I perceive to be your interest. So I hope that dialogue remains open. That's it.
Motion to adjourn.
Yes. Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
See you Wednesday, Monday.